All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Certainly the game of the weekend, maybe the game of the year, the battle of the unbeatens as we get underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Now, Barney!
On 1st and 10, Cohen into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, and you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now they toss out wide to Sanders. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. This one from 35 yards away. And Elliott puts this one through. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same. but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. That last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd. From the gun, Cohen going deep for Moncrief. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
It's a sneak. It's Wentz. And he will push forward and pick up the first down. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Come on now, Owens. Come on now. Let's go. Lion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Ram. 81.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
to him on first down. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They run a draw here on second down. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Early down steps will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Throwing now is Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
He's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now this time he'll look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10.
Now, look at 56.
On first down, Cohen. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Gun! Hey, got three down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And incomplete here on third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10. On first down, Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Aaron Donald in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. Throwing on first down. Cohen. And he's got his big receiver, Robinson, for the Jacksonville touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from taking the lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Lynch 5-3, Lynch 5-3. Ram.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Lynch 5-3, Lynch 5-3.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Telvin Smith in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. And you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll take it at the 42. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good return there, 17 yards. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, Cohen and connecting here with DJ Shark. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56!
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Check 50. Check 50.
Operating from the gun. Cohen. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this will get out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead is up to 8. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Lion. 82.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. The throw left side complete. It's Rodriguez. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Wentz now on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. From the gun, Cohen. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Cohen. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. And just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Go.
Wentz going to throw. Fighting through pressure. And an alley to run. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Working from the gun. Wentz. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Eagles send out their punter now. Standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. So we are at halftime. We now proceed to the start of the 2nd half. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the 2nd half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this. But run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a gain of 5. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff. But still, a lot of guys to account for.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Black, come on.
Wentz now on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Great, great. Please.
Throwing his Wentz. This is caught. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Now Wentz will keep it, and they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on second and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal. And Elliott puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So it's a third field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
They begin with a run by Fournette. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Over!
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
A handoff to Fournette. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Jaguars on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Jaguars on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
The pitch to Fournette. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That good for 19 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Fournette proven to be even more dangerous this year than as a rookie, as the Jags come up 1st and 10. Back now in Jacksonville. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, Cohen. Open man right side is Shark. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. This quarterback now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Lambo to add on the extra point. Extra point tacked on by Lambo, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
To throw, it's Wentz. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
They'll toss it to Fournette. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Watch it now, Barney. Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A toss running left, Fournette. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
No, check, Patriot!
Here's a give to Fournette, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Gun!
From the gun, Cohen. Wide open receiver complete. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a 1st down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw. Cohen. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2.
I remember being taught that cliches have become so for a reason. A lot of times they're true, right? What's that they used to tell us about letting sleeping dogs lie? Well, this one wasn't sleeping. Maybe it was just slumbering a little bit. But taking that gamble there, you've got the lead. You may have ignited them now that they stopped you.
That's exactly right. If you take the points here, you don't shift momentum necessarily on that play. You probably just did. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This complete left side to Aguilar. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Shotgun now for Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Wentz now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Wentz. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Trying to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10.
82.
Again, it's Wentz. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Wentz, got to have this one. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Vasquez. And he will at least be able to fall on it himself, but it was fourth down, and the possession changes. And defensively, maybe an opportunity miss there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance to make a huge play. Instead, he's able to recover his own fumble. And big sigh of relief, huh?
Yeah, usually those wide receiver fumbles, there's open space around for the defense, but not there. He hops right back on it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route,
and the Jags get to him as down he goes. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Telvin Smith in there to get him again. The third time he sacked him here tonight. So first and 10 now from the 30. That one looks like he'll throw here. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Jacksonville, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.